A normal watch costs about 2,000 Kenya shilling, but Rolex costs about 3 million Kenya shilling. Land in Muthaiga, half an acre, is about, let's say, 40 million Kenya shillings, but an adjoining estate there, it costs about, let's say, 10 million. Or another example is liquor. Locally made liquor costs about, let's say, 100 shilling per pint, but champagne is almost 30,000. What is the difference? The difference is usually in a simple thing called branding, and that is what we are doing here. That at the end of the process, we expect Murang'a products, starting with tea, we will have a situation where the value will rise because of the uniqueness of Murang'a, and that will translate to more money to the average Murang'a farmer. Geographical indication is a part of what we call intellectual property. And there are many, just like assume you come up with a song, you register copyright. You write a book, you register intellectual property. So what we are doing is we are now registering intellectual property of the uniqueness of Murang'a, which then will give it a unique value, enable our products' prices to go up once we go out there in the market. It's a journey. We are not saying tomorrow or the day after tomorrow things will be now we are there. No. It's a very long process. It may even require some laws to be passed by the national parliament. It will also require a lot of training of the farmer. But once equity helps us to crack it, then definitely the value of Murang'a products will go up. And I really thank Equity Bank, led by Dr. James, for starting this process. In the whole mix, I know Mr. Mashari, Dr. Mashari of Raw Media will push the brand of Murang'a, and that will help the common farmer in Murang'a.
We are already helping the factories in terms of going green with their energy and cutting down on the energy cost. We are helping them to expand their production line so that they can produce teas that are in demand and are in high quality. So for us, we are very happy, and we hope that once this works in Murang'a, we can roll it out in the whole country, because every county has something that they can brand as their own, and they can have that the geographical indication, which is very, very important.
Is that they would be able to own their tea through a brand. They own the brand. When they go to the shelf in New York or London, they will be seeing their produce. It gives them the pride and esteem of ownership. At the moment, the farmers lose their brand as soon as they take the tea to the factory. The factory loses the brand as soon as it does the auction in Mombasa. So you don't get Murang'a tea anywhere in the world. So we want to give the farmers their asset, and the consumer can trace it back to Murang'a, to a factory, and to a farmer. That's the process we want to be able to do, such that the consumer also knows which tea they are consuming. So it's a win for the consumer, a win for the farmer. What it will take the farmer is to own and protect their brand. So they will be the custodian of quality, because the quality will define the brand and will define the price the consumer will be willing to pay.
They get more money.
And chances are, when you look at the whole process, if we get it right, we can get 3, 4, 5 times the value that they get of tea. But it's a journey, as I said, and it is determined by how we work together. But as Equity Group, and I, as James, a small-scale tea farmer, I'm fully committed to walk this journey with the rest of my colleagues, small-scale tea farmers. About 4 million Kenyans in the diaspora, but they never get Kenyan tea. We want, first of all, to give them Murang'a tea. So whether they're in America, they will go to the shelf and ask, where is Murang'a tea? So it is easier for us because we have a significant constituent. Once we succeed with the tea, let's give a promise. We'll then start macadamia, we'll deal with coffee, we'll deal with avocado, and the governor wants us to deal with milk. So it's a process, but once the farmers get it, because the success is purely about farmers, and that is why we asked SK to lead us in educating the farmers, that we are developing a brand for them.
Are getting smaller and smaller. Those of you who have lived a couple more generations will know that you inherited a 10-acre farm, then you divided it with your brothers, then you divided it with your sons, and at the rate we are going, the farms are getting smaller and smaller. So how do you make sure that they can still remain economically viable? And one way to do that is to make sure that even a small farm, when you do the value addition that is being proposed, then you can still retain value for the farm.
We want to put Murang'a product as Murang'a products in the shelves, maybe perhaps in Europe. In France, we have done it, not for tea, but on other commodities such as wine, champagne, food. And we believe that through partnership, we can exchange experience, we can provide technical expertise, and we can do it together and achieve the results. At the end of the day, it is more value for the producers, so you get more money, but you get also a very identity pride that your products are sold as it was produced here as Murang'a. So as it was said, we're starting the journey, and as France we are ready to partner with Kenya, with the people of Murang'a, to share experience and walk this journey together. Think about honey within the Mau forest in the Ogiek. We were looking also at coffee. I think all commodities that are produced locally potentially can be part of this program of local indications. But I think coming to Murang'a with the value and not only the economic, but as we heard, the societal value of tea production here around Mount Kenya, I think it is the place that we call it a pilot project, but I think it can go very fast, and it's with this terrain that the identity of the people who are producing can be reflected in a product that is sold globally.
Congratulations. During our time, his father used to have you are supposed to do it like
the skill has disappeared.
The fingers are...
So that you are able to see, so that you can be able to explain a bit.
Yeah, when we are growing up, this is how we pay school.
As we explain how
So let me just start by saying welcome to Goshen Farm. We are a family-run farm. So we are mixed business. We do animal husbandry as well as vegetables.
That is the final plan.
So he is paying for what? The monthly payment.
And then remove what they have paid you, and that's what is called bonus.
Per kg.
51 shillings. Yes. So you can say multiply what you have
Each region, each tea buying center is represented by a board. It is more of company structure.
This is the area we call it withering section. This is where we do our withering, so that we reduce the moisture content of hot. We'll apply steam, hot air, so that we wither that tea to a moisture content around like 66%. After oxidation, we'll now bring the dull for drying. Entry here is restricted because already now we've reached the critical purely on grain size. If you want premium quality, this is very good. We are withering this.
One is not changing the grade, and then parts in different labels it different.
Clearly marked and labeled, you can trace it back where it came from, the grade, the net weight, and the gross
Kenya as a peer, you have blended tea. Now what happens is that most of
drink.
But yet you produce more of black, no?
We produce more
because it's history.
and 30%. You will get a small
Where do you want to start? This side.
Ambassador, Governor, you take.
The UK really
This
loves
is the Orthodox.
This is the Orthodox. When you will find some buyers who want the black, very green. Yes.
Give us more of this.
You need to be near the
Sweets.